Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery. We get together with our distribution partners most weekday mornings at this time, 8 o'clock Central, to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, and support each of you. Today, we are going to talk a little bit about the careers page on the website. So each of you should have a replicated website that looks just like this one. And you should have a link that connects to that. And by doing that, then it tracks back to you. So when I'm showing you our website, frankly, I'm also showing you your website, if that makes sense. So while there's multiple pages, today we're going to focus on the careers page. And this has a couple levels or layers of applicability. So let's go through it. We have tried urgently, desperately, diligently to simplify things, because while the core of what we do hasn't changed, helping small business owners become qualified for funding and working with professionals like each of you, distribution partners, to be able to earn a great income by helping entrepreneurs access capital. Those two things haven't changed. But in terms of the process, we've worked diligently to simplify, because that's what we hear. People want fast, simple, and free. Fast, simple, and free. So with that being said, let's go look at the career page, and there's a few takeaways that might be helpful. So first of all, again, we've simplified it. There are two roles. There are consultants and there are directors. It does not cost anything upfront to enroll in either role. So this is not a pay-to-play opportunity. It's not MLM, not network marketing. It's not a franchise. It is important, though, that you understand the difference between the two roles. So our small business consultants are the professionals that are going out and creating awareness of the free funding proposal. And we've talked about that on different trainings. This is the main campaign that most of you are probably using to drive in prospects. The free funding proposal page on your website, again, looks just like this. And it answers the question for prospects: are you looking for funding to start or grow a business but need help? And so all the small business consultants do, they don't sell anything to anyone. They're not pitching anything. They're just simply saying, hey, let us get you some funding offers. We'll see what you qualify for now, and we'll create a plan to help you get a minimum of $100,000. So we're not here to talk about the free funding proposal. So on the career page, that is what consultants do. They just simply drive people in to get free funding proposals. The only information they need to have about the prospective participant is their name, their email, and their phone. And then either the consultant can have the prospect fill out this form, or even the consultant can fill out this information, submit it. That's all the consultant has to do. So you could say that they're lead generators, but I don't really like that terminology as much as saying that small business consultants are responsible for community outreach. They get the word out that there are free funding proposals available, and there's many positive attributes to the participant of why they would want to do that, which is not the purpose of the conversation today. So small business consultants have a number of benefits, obviously free training and certification. There's no selling, as we've talked about. We allow our consultants to choose. Do you want to be 1099, or do you want to be W-2 with benefits? Benefits includes health, dental, short-term disability, long-term disability, group life, vision. I forget if I said that, but a real nice benefit package. So it's up to the consultant. Do they want to be 1099 or W-2? Pay out on a daily basis. That's a little bit of a misnomer. We pay the 1099 daily. Those of us who are W-2 get direct deposits every Friday. Great way to earn a good income on a very part-time basis. But if someone is considering, whether it be you or someone else is considering becoming a small business consultant, we urgently ask them, hey, get familiar with what we do first. Let's see if it's really a good fit. And, we could certainly interview them and take time and energy and get references and look at their resumes and all of that. But frankly, the simplest way is just for prospective small business consultants to look at these 3 training videos. They're available for the world to see. Again, we're transparent. There's no passwords. This describes what we do and how we do it, and also success stories. So we're going to get to something that maybe even seems more relevant. But at this point, if you're not a small business consultant and are considering becoming one, then what would I recommend you do? Watch these 3 training videos and you should be able to come to a clear conclusion. Is it a good fit? Are you already a small business consultant? Great. Have you watched these 3 videos diligently, these 3 training videos? If not, I strongly encourage you to do it. Now, beyond that, we have our state director role. I was just interviewing a new director this morning on the phone. All of our state directors are small business consultants, but in addition to being a consultant, they're actually building a team. And again, we are not network marketing, we're not MLM, but as we grow, we want to have our plan, our goal is to have 1 state director per state, and then the state director builds out a team of consultants in their state. Now, we don't have real tight constraints. And so let's say you're the state director of Hawaii, but you know of someone that might be a good consultant in Alaska. Certainly you can add them to your team and you would get overrides, and I'll describe that. But the primary focus of the state director is to build out depth and coverage of small business consultants in the state that they're leading. So that's what directors do. They go out and build a team of consultants. Again, training and certifications free. There's no selling. Really, if you were a state director, all you're doing is really just explaining this to prospects, and they could make their own decision. If they come aboard, they get paid for helping the client, and you get overrides. State directors also have the option of being 1099 or W-2. Again, this is a bit misleading. It is daily pay if 1099. Otherwise, all W-2 are on Fridays, direct deposits. Great overrides. Well, how much override do you get as a state director? Well, as you can imagine, it depends upon how many consultants you have and how active your consultants are. And then for transparency, we have training here. So the main focus that I wanted to communicate today, and then open it up for questions, is it's important to understand the model. And so the distribution model is composed of consultants and of state directors. Let's talk about the gentleman, Jeremy, that I talked to this morning. So Jeremy is interested in becoming a small business consultant, but he already has a potential referral partner, he says, and I believe him to be true. It's just, I want to caution that I don't know that that's absolute truth, but Jeremy said, and I believe it to be true, that he has a referral partner that already has 6 clients that referral partner wants to refer in. That's a great start, isn't it? So then what I asked Jeremy is, well, I took him to this page and said, okay, go ahead and watch the training, make sure this is what you want to do. And if so, fill out the form and we'll get you plugged in. But in terms of that referral partner, and that referral partner, I think, develops websites. So that referral partner, the website developer, is out marketing to small businesses already, and sometimes runs into small businesses that needs capital. Sometimes it just even needs capital to pay for the website development. So we've had different trainings that we've called the entrepreneurial ecosystem. When we did these trainings live, we had the big whiteboard, and many of you came into it, and we would map it all out. But essentially, there's a whole entrepreneurial ecosystem. Other professionals, we'll call them B2B, business to business professionals, that have small business relationships, like the website developer, like bankers, like accountants, like attorneys, like business coaches, insurance agents, and so forth. So all of these other professionals, if you were to offer them an opportunity to become a small business consultant underneath you as a state director, they get the benefits, and they already have a flow of clients in many cases to refer in, which is great. So it's not taking money out of your pocket. The small business consultant gets paid for the referrals that they bring in through the free funding proposal. The state director gets an override. So let's go back to Jeremy this morning. So I asked Jeremy, okay, for this guy, I don't know his name, the website developer, Jeremy, do you want to be a state director, Jeremy, and then bring that guy in as a small business consultant? Or, so here's another option. What he could do, Jeremy could be a state director or not, that really doesn't matter, but you can be a small business consultant and get referrals from people, right? And then those referrals, you could offer them 1 point of the capital raise, or just $100 or $250 gift card. I mean, it's up to you, but there's lots and lots of people that have small business owner relationships, and that if they knew what you do, what we do, especially with the free funding proposals, they would refer to you. But you need to make a decision for each of those, we'll call them referral partners to you. How do you want to set them up? Do you want to be a state director, which is fine, no cost, easy to do? Let us know by filling out the form and, of course, checking that box. You can be a state director, and then we can put small business consultants underneath you where you earn overrides. That's option one. Option two is don't worry about that. Just be a small business consultant, and then just encourage people to refer to you, and then you're paying them something to motivate them to do so. So that's the main difference. If you're a state director, you bring in small business consultants, then we're paying you and we're paying the small business consultants. But if you're a small business consultant and you just have a pastor or banker or someone that maybe even under the table that you're paying for referrals, we don't even need to know about them, right? We don't need to know who they are or what they do, because it's a referral relationship that you're managing under your consultancy. Hopefully that makes sense. So this dovetails to the topic of leads. A lot of times we get questions from our consultants, I need leads, and we can provide leads, of course, but that really undermines the primary goal of the small business consultant focus, which is to create community awareness. And we've had many different trainings. You can go out, you can teach in person, you can teach online, you can just simply you can join the chamber and set up a member-to-member benefit. There's so many ways to create a significant flow of leads, especially understanding that what we're trying to get is a participant to come into the free funding proposal. So let's go back and review that value proposition, because if you drink the Kool-Aid with me, forgive the Jim Jones analogy, but if you drink the Kool-Aid with me on the free funding proposal, it's the best thing since sliced bread. It's easy, right? Because why would a small business owner want to get a free funding proposal? Well, because they need money to start or grow a business and they don't have access to it. They need help. Well, what we do is we have them fill out this little form, name, email, phone, or you can fill it out for them. Once it's submitted, it comes to us, and then we're going to send them that simple one-page application via Adobe. We'll copy you on that. So you'll see that it went out, and then when they complete it, you'll see that it's been completed. Then typically within 24 hours, we will have one of our funding advisors reach out to them to create a funding plan. So what we're going to do is let them know how much money they qualify for right now. How much money can they get right now? And when I say right now, we're talking about offers now within 24 hours and almost always funded within 7 days. So I don't mean the moment, but I mean not in some point in the future, but now. What do you qualify for? Get them offers now. We've had success stories, and of course, some of those success stories are listed over here. We had just another client yesterday that had received almost $200,000 of funding offers now for his, what we call the first tranche. But the first tranche is what they qualify for now. And they see the rates, the interest rates, the repayment terms, and they pick which ones do they want. And that's, of course, this bullet down here. Which ones do they want? They accept. Those that they don't have to. Everyone will get at least one offer, but a lot of people are getting lots and lots and lots of offers. And then secondly, what we're going to do is help create a plan to get them the rest of the money that they want, because it's very possible, maybe even probable, that what they qualify for now isn't all that they would ever need or want. So there's two tranches, two phases. Let's get them their first tranche now, which makes them happy and of course gets you paid as well. And then we'll work with them to get them qualified for the rest. There's no minimum credit scores for a funding proposal, no minimum time in business. They could even be pre-formation, business not even formed yet. There's obviously no upfront cost. Now that's not free, right? Because when we get them funding and they accept the funding and they receive the funding, then they pay a performance fee, don't they? They pay a 10% performance fee. And we share that with you. That's how you're paid, right? There's not magic. Small business consultants are paid based upon us getting clients funded. We guarantee them each $100,000. Small business consultants are making 3%, $3,000 for each client. State directors get an override of 1%. So the free funding proposal results in funding offers now and then assistance in getting the rest of what they want. There's no upfront cost, but that should not be interpreted that it's free. Sometimes people will make that false inference. Oh, you said it was free. No, we never said it was free. The funding proposal is free. We're not charging them anything to get them the funding offers, but for the capital received, then we bill them and they've agreed to pay of the money that they've received, not just offered, but of the money that they've received. Financing that they've received, they pay 10%, kind of like a realtor, right? At closing, the realtors on both sides of the transaction are paid. So people like that. Most people don't mind paying, they just want to pay after there's results, after there's funding. There's no hard inquiries in getting these funding proposals. We can look at business funding, personal funding, the combination. We just need to look to see what they qualify for now. They can pick what they want and they can decline those that they don't want. And we have access to lots of different funding sources in addition to over 40 different lenders, banks, credit unions, alternative lenders. We have a bank that we work with that does SBA loans and they literally fund the next day. Unheard of almost. We have the Chapman Fund, which is through a taxing authority, which is great. The Opportunity Fund, which doesn't have to be repaid. But the bottom line is the funding proposal is what our small business consultants are asking people to participate in. The point, going back to the primary point here, you may want to consider becoming a state director. Doesn't cost anything. There's no production requirements. But by doing that, then you can have consultants on your team and the consultants that are on your team get paid. And it's a super simple proposition. All any of us are asking anyone to do is, hey, let's just get you a free funding proposal. Let's see what you qualify for now, and we'll create a plan to get you any additional funds that you want. So who has questions on what we've covered, primarily on the careers page? I bring this up because I think you're going to run in, if you're active in your community outreach, you will run into others that either want or need to make more money and or have small business relationships already, just like Jeremy ran into this gentleman that is a website developer. You almost can't not run into people that have small business client relationships. And so I'm showing you how to monetize that without doing any work. You become a state director, free and easy, no production requirements. How do you do that? Fill this out and let us know you want to be a state director. Then the people that you refer in become small business consultants on your team. They promote the free funding proposal, drive people in. They get paid their money. It doesn't reduce their income. And then you get paid the overrides. Who has questions, comments, concerns on the two roles, how they work, how you're paid, how you're trained, how you're supported? Alfred brings up about support. Yeah, so for our small business consultants, we of course have our daily trainings. Like now, we record those for later viewing. We provide the support. We often we encourage to have weekly one-on-one meetings. So whatever it is that we need to do to help you be successful, but just keep in mind, it's painfully simple. We work with so many smart people, like most of you, and smart people have a tendency, maybe the weakness of being intelligent is that many of you will overcomplicate things. It's remarkably simple, right? just ask people if they'd like to get a free funding proposal. And all you need to do is collect their name, their email, and their phone. You don't have to even drive them to your website. As long as you have their name, their email, and their phone, and they're wanting a funding proposal, then drop them in here. Just be sure to let them know, hey, you're going to be getting an Adobe that has an application. If you fill out that application, then we can get you funding offers. So just be sure to let them know what's coming as a next step, especially if you're filling this out for them. Okay, so Daphne has a question. Can we offer to like career opportunity for social service? I don't know what that means, Daphne, so you may have to ask that question. I'm sure it's my fault, not yours, but I don't know what that means. But I can pivot from that and say, why would you want to be a state director? Is to earn passive income by having a team of small business consultants that are out helping people with free funding proposals. All right, so Deborah has a good question, and there are, so I need to step back before I read the question. So there are two primary campaigns that we go out to the marketplace with. The primary one that I would encourage most of you to do is to lead with the free funding proposal. That's what you've heard us talk a lot about and what we've talked about today. But that's one campaign. Is there a different campaign? There is a second campaign. The second campaign comes over here when you go to the Startup Business Funding Package. This is a different offering. It's described here. There's a training video. And in this case, if you want to lead with this campaign, then what you as a small business consultant would do is you would take clients through this 6-question funding checklist. And we've discussed that, and I'll even open it for you. We had a training on it. We've had several trainings on it. It'll populate here in a second, but it's available for you there on that page. And that is a questionnaire that you would take someone through to see, are they capital ready? So this is a different approach than the funding proposal. Different approach, but you can take them through the 6 questions to see how capital ready they are. And then from that training, what you'll remember is there's one of 2 outcomes. Once you've taken them through that 6-question funding checklist, if they are capital ready, then normally you would take them over to your home page and help them get enrolled in Access to Capital. Or if they're not capital ready, many of them would benefit from the Startup Business Funding Package, which is here. And so if they enroll in the Startup Business Funding Package, then you are paid $1,000 up front. So that's a different campaign with a different payout. It's just not all of you felt comfortable with this. And so the funding proposal is probably what 95% of you will want to use. But yes, you can bring people in through the questionnaire, the assessment. And then if they're not qualified, not capital ready, you can plug them into the Startup Business Funding Package, and that pays you $1,000 up front. So that's a different comp model because it's a different program, if you will. But I would encourage most of you to stick with the free funding proposal. All right, last question before we hang it up for this morning. Can we offer to social service for people? Okay, so I think I understand Daphne's question now. So yes, there are great ways to bring on new small business consultants. And certainly you could go to the unemployment agency, or you could go, some churches have like employment wards or employment resources. Absolutely. Ex-felons, people that have been released from prison that have trouble finding jobs, they're a great fit to be a small business consultant. Stay-at-home moms. So yes, you could be very creative in offering this as an income opportunity. I hate to use the word opportunity because opportunity makes it sound like it's MLM or something, which it's not. But yes, you're exactly right, Daphne. There's a lot of people that have trouble finding work, either because of disabilities or criminal background or other issues. What a great audience to approach. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, last question, and then we'll wrap it up. Deborah asked about comp. Yeah, so Comp is different on the startup. The startup package pays $1,000 up front to the small business consultant. On the free funding proposal, it's paid off the capital raise. Small business consultants are paid 3 points, 3%. So if the client raises 100,000, the SBC, the small business consultant gets 3,000. If the client raises 200,000, then the small business consultant gets 6,000, right? It's linear, 3 points. State directors get an override of 1 point. So if the client gets 100,000, small business consultant gets 3,000, state director gets 1, client gets 200,000, small business consultant gets 6,000, state director gets 2,000. All right, well, we've covered a lot, but hopefully this is just a good refresher. There's nothing new here. We're not changing anything. We just want to continue to reiterate how the model works, because I would think any of you that are out talking to people, even if you're focused on finding clients to participate in the free funding proposal, invariably some of them may be looking for income opportunities. And here is one that they could benefit from, with obviously no selling, no upfront cost. And then secondly, you get overrides as a state director. If you're not a state director, just let us know you want to be one. If you're not a small business consultant, let us know you want to be one. All right, thanks everyone. I've got to run to a meeting. We will see you back Monday morning. Have a great weekend. Let us know if we can do anything for you. Bye.